you guys have been watching the news recently. Jeff Bezos has hit upon the idea of like launching a bunch of privileged, rich women who have no discernible talents into space. The only downside is that he brought them back.
An attempt to get rid of them.
He spent an enormous amount of money to get 11 minutes of silence. That's basically what he did.
Yeah. And I think it's fantastic, because like it's treated as this groundbreaking thing that's like changed the face of space exploration for all time. But it's like, I don't know, it'd be like me saying, like, I got on a commercial flight from like, Florida to the UK today, for example, so I can come home. That makes me a pilot. I'm part of the crew now. Like, no, I just sat in a fucking seat and I drank myself silly for like a couple of hours.
The critical pilot.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the way this has been treated, and it's such a strange. I don't know. It's such a strange way of reconciling this stuff. But we did have Katy Perry coming home after her world-changing trip into space. Let's see it.
Katy! Woo!
There you go.
I feel
That's
like had there not just been astronauts recently who were stuck in space for like 9 months, this would have not. Like that. She just made herself look like such an idiot because of that.
This is the equivalent of like a guy stuck on a life raft for like 6 months, right? And like subsisting off fish and raw seagulls, right? And then watching a cruise ship go by him with like, rich people like sipping champagne and, just like eating canapes and stuff, and them getting all the headlines of how they survived the trip through the Caribbean. That's kind of what this is. It's just so pointless and silly. But
who was the one who
grabbed the headlines?
An astronaut now? Was it Katy Perry who said she's an astronaut now? Or was it the other one, somebody else?
She said she's like connected to the feminine divine after having been in space for like 8 minutes or so.
Yeah, one of them said that she was an astronaut, and all I can say is that basically any straight man can then say that he's a gynecologist because all it takes is 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, one news outlet actually had the brass balls to say the plucky ladies had piloted the spaceship. They piloted it to the extent that a Soviet-era space chimp they sent up in the 50s piloted that spacecraft.
Yeah.
And they had form-fitting things to show off their boobs with these blue costumes. It was really strange.
The thing that really took me aback about the picture, like, of the crew for that is like, when women of a certain age, like I guess when they're hurtling towards 40, they all start getting cosmetic procedures, but they all get the same ones, and so the result is they all end up looking the same. Like they all get
ridiculous high cheekbones and bloated lips. It's like the G-force of going into the atmosphere didn't do well for the plastic surgery.
Kind of, yeah. It's like their faces got designed in a wind tunnel, and so like you end up with that. And it's like I can't tell if that's like 6 people or just like 3 people that got copy pasted. That's the odd thing about it. But yeah, this is headlines now. These girls like conquered space. So well done, ladies. You did it.
Well, there's the Fermi paradox, which is if there's aliens out there, then why haven't they visited us yet? Well, I think the answer is they saw these specimens and thought, "Fuck off, we're not going to that planet."
Yeah. If Katy Perry was your first like exposure to the human race, you'd be like, "Nah, they're retarded. We need to move on." But it's space tourism. Like I wish they would just market it as that. Like when I think Shatner did the same thing, didn't he? Like William Shatner went up in the same kind of Amazon launch vehicle, and it was just a little jaunt into outer space. Like no one thinks that he's now Captain Kirk for real. It's just like, yeah, he just did that. He put his safety on the line to do it, just like these girls did. And I think you should at least applaud them for that. They strapped themselves into a giant penis that was powered by rocket fuel going into the heavens, and they came back in one piece. That's something. They didn't pilot it, but they still were aboard it, and they could have blown up. So that's cool.
Yeah, but they're confusing they're confusing a publicity stunt for being pioneers. And that's the kind of sad irony about this whole thing.
Well, it's when you have to get increasingly obscure, where it's like you have to say it's the first X, Y, and Z demographics that have done this thing. You know, this thing that's been done like hundreds of times by other people, like for the past 50 years. It's not really that impressive, really.
Could be worse.
What was this? Yeah. Sorry, I was just looking at the super chats that were coming in there.
I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it. It was like a meme where someone put the rocket right next to like a massager, and like no wonder they use this for the women. I couldn't find it though, unfortunately.